What's up everybody and welcome to the Fight franchise and our pound for pound rankings going forward, which might be a kind of 3-month, 6-month series where we look back on the MMA world and the UFC landscape and do the accurate pound for pound rankings going forward. There's a lot of debate recently with Dana White, the media, and the pound for pound rankings and how it works. So we at the Fight franchise are developing our own pound for pound rankings going forward and are going to be giving them out every 3 to 6 months and seeing how you guys would compare to our pound for pound rankings and what would you change and how would you view the pound for pound rankings. So our criteria we're going to kind of base it on, and we may change this going forward. So simple, a couple of denominations what we're basing it on: record, the overall record of the fighter, the activity of the fighter, how active they've been of recent, win streaks, are they on a win streak, a long win streak, what win streak are they on, their recent performances and their performances throughout that win streak, are they dominating, are they going to decisions, are they winning close decisions, are they winning comfortably and dominating all their opponents, and the strength of schedule, the competition they face. So are they facing lesser opponents compared to somebody in a different division who is beating some high level competition. So kind of breaks down the rules, self-explanatory, the pound for pound rankings, how would we do it? So from 15 down to 1, men's pound for pound rankings going forward. So at number 15, I've got in the current UFC pound for pound rankings, at number 15, pound for pound, best in the world, I've got Sean O'Malley. Recently coming off his loss against Merab Dvalishvili, where I think he was pretty much dominated wholehandedly. But the things going for him, he was on a good win streak going into it. He was, I believe, 9-0, 10-0 with some good finishes, good KOs. He had good title defense against Chito Vera, and overall has a good body of work. Just compared to some of the other guys ahead of him, his competition's lacking. You know, yes, he's beat Piotr Jan. Yes, he's beat Chito Vera recently. But outside of those two names, couldn't even tell you off the top of my head in the top 15 who he has a win over. Don't think off the top, outside of Jan and Chito Vera, I don't think he has a win over anyone. It's like Chris Martinho, Julian Paiva, Eddie Wineland. Where are those guys in the rankings? So for that reason, he's number 15. But I think he was on a very good win streak, had some great KOs, brilliant title defense against Chito Vera in one of the best performances of the year. But because he lost his title recently, I've got him down at number 15, pound for pound, best fighter in the world. He could have missed out. There were other guys, Israel Adesanya, who was one who just fell out of the ranking. Shavkat Rakhmonov just because misses out because hasn't won the title and also not as good competition. So Sean O'Malley, number 15. Number 14, best pound for pound, Robert Whittaker. I've got recently not as good as a win streak as the man before him because he's had some wins and losses, you know, to Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya before that. But when you look at this man's competition, who he's beat recently, you know, you go, he's beat Paulo Costa recently. Before that, he's got wins against some great fighters in the division like Marvin Vettori, Darren Till. He beat someone on short notice. It wasn't Nasruddin Mavov. It was the Dagestani guy. I can't remember his name, but he stepped in on short notice for Hamzat. He beat him. Beat Paulo Costa recently. You know, lost to du Plessis. Before that, beat Vettori. He's fighting all the top guys in the division. He just can't get past Israel Adesanya or Dricus du Plessis. But he's going to fight Hamzat Chimaev in a month. He's keeping active. He's keeping busy. He's one of the best fighters in the world. And the competition, the competition he's fighting is some of the best. So number 14, Robert Whittaker. Same sentiment for number 13, Sean Strickland. Recently won the title against Israel Adesanya in a brilliant win. Had a close title defense where he lost against Dricus du Plessis, but it was very close. You could have given him the decision. I would have given him the decision. Just beat Paulo Costa recently. Before that, 3-fight win streak he was on where he won the title, and then before that lost to Jared Cannonier. And Jared Cannonier just lost to someone like Imavov. So for that reason, Sean Strickland would be my number 13. Very busy fighter, having some good dominant performances, winning the title, absolutely dominated Paulo Costa. So yeah, and he looks like he's going to get the next title shot. So number 30. Number 12, I've got Alexander Volkanovski in the pound for pound list. Historical legacy is what gets him here. He was the pound for pound number 1 for so long. He was the featherweight GOAT. Just recently, he's had some tough losses against Islam Makhachev, which he took on short notice, and then a brutal loss to Ilia Topuria. But before that, one of the best win streaks in the world, beating the guy likes of Max Holloway, everybody else in the featherweight division. Had a close first fight against Islam Makhachev and was last year, pound for pound, the best fighter in the world. But just recently, 2 tough losses, dropped him quite far in the pound for pound ranking. But we put him at number 12. He's got that historical legacy and historical backing. And who knows if he did take on a Diego Lopez or did fight for the title next, and he could be able to regain his title. So who knows? Alexander Volkanovski, I've got number 12. Number 11, Leon Edwards. Recently just lost his title, so drops him out of the top 10. But before that was on a fantastic win streak. I think he was 10-0. Had some great wins in there, obviously beating Kamaru Usman by head kick. Only reason he drops out, recently lost his title and was dominated kind of by Bilal, where he didn't really get out of first gear. And it's kind of the theme of his title reign and his recent defenses. He just never gets out of second gear. He's coasted against Colby Covington in the second Kamaru Usman fight against Bilal. Just needs to put his foot on the gas, and maybe he could have defended his title and won those fights. And his pedestrian nature is what lets him down and why he's number 11. He's ahead of all the guys before him because he's had the best streak out of those guys and some of the best wins, and obviously had not had as many recent big losses, only just recently lost his title. So Leon Edwards, I've got number 11. Number 10, I've got Alexandre Pantoja. Weird one because I wanted to rank him higher than 2 guys who've just recently won the belt, but it's just competition and his win streak isn't as long as those guys. But one of the best flyweight champions in recent history, got defenses now, 2 defenses against Steve Ercik and Brandon Royval, dominated Brandon Moreno kind of to get the belt. He's on a 6-fight win streak, I believe, in the division, which is a good win streak. Just sometimes, that flyweight division, yes, it's growing. Is it stronger than some of the divisions ahead and some of the guys who are going to be ahead who've got stronger win streaks against better competition? So yeah, Alexandre Pantoja I've got at number 10, but nonetheless well deserving, and if he was just a bit more active could be much more higher. He arguably has better performances against the guys ahead of him, just his record and win streak isn't as strong and this competition isn't as strong, but performances very good. Number 9 in the pound for pound rankings, we've got Merab Dvalishvili, the current pound for pound rankings. Just became undisputed champion, dominating Sean O'Malley. Before that, dominated Henry Cejudo. Before that, dominated Piotr Jan on, I think, a 9 or 10 fight win streak. Undeniably became the champion. Brilliant performances, dominating performances, I should say. Best in the division and the best win streak in the division, beating the best of the division. So undoubtedly gets number 1, and the competition he's fighting is the best of the best, unlike Sean O'Malley, who was kind of fast-tracked to the title. Merab beat Piotr, well, I think Sean beat Piotr Jan, but Merab also beat the other killers around that division and also had that dominant win against Cejudo, so I put Merab at number 9. And number 8, I've got Max Holloway in the pound for pound rankings. He's got everything except a world title, because if he had a world title, he could arguably be in the top 3. You look at this guy, great performances, big wins against some massive competition within his division. He's beat everyone within the featherweight division, it seems, except Alexander Volkanovski. Had one of the best performances in KOs of the year, where he went up a division and beat Justin Gaethje for the BMF title. He's ticking all the boxes. Performances, dominant wins, beating the best competition around his division, just doesn't have a world title, which kind of hampers him going any higher in the pound for pound rankings. But he is most certainly one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world right now, which is why we've got him at number 8. If he does beat Ilia Topuria, he climbs massively up, because if you look at his recent record, then you go, if he beats Ilia, you go, he's beat Ilia, Justin Gaethje, Korean Zombie, Yair Rodriguez, Arnold Allen. He's like he's beat everyone except Volkanovski, so definitely deserves this spot in the list and definitely deserves this spot at number 8, Max Holloway. At number 7, in the best pound for pound fighters in the world as of today, I've got Bilal Muhammad. A lot of people will hate that one, but that being said, I just think his his win streak is one of the best in the world, and his performances may not be the most definitive, like he doesn't finish guys, but he dominates them and ragdolls them. His record is brilliant. And then when you look at his competition compared to some of the other guys before him, some of the guys he's beaten have been very good. You know, dominated Gilbert Burns, dominated Wonderboy, just dominated Leon Edwards, who was one of the best welterweight champions as of recent. You know, he's got some brilliant wins and performances, and he's undeniable. And a couple of more title defenses, he could very well climb higher. So I've got Bilal Muhammad at number 7. I just think those recent wins he's got against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, against Gilbert Burns, look how good Sean Brady's done as of recent, against Sean Brady. You know, he's racking up some great wins which have aged well. And it's not like he was ducking anyone. He was taking fights when he didn't need to and kind of waited his time. And when he got his time, dominated Leon Edwards. It wasn't the most entertaining fight, but that's a huge win and huge feather in his cap. So yeah, number 7, I've got Bilal Muhammad. Number 6 was a very difficult one because it was between two guys who could face each other in the future, but I went with Tom Aspinall, number 6 best pound for pound fighters in the world. Dominant wins, one of the most dominant fighters in the UFC at the minute. His average fight time's less than 2 minutes. Good win streak aside from that injury versus Curtis Blades, but they just fought each other and he avenged that in nearly 2 minutes. The only thing lacking for Tom Aspinall to go any higher, he needs to face either Cyril Gane or John Jones. He's beat Marcin Tybura, Alexander Volkov. He's beat, you know, the kind of guys who are kind of past it in the division. He just needs to fight the upper echelon, who are those two guys. It's just a shame he's not getting the opportunity, which doesn't get him any higher. But nonetheless, Tom Aspinall, excellent fighter at the minute, deserves number 6 in the pound for pound rankings. If he is technically the undisputed, but I just think the guy who's ahead of him, who's number 5 in the pound for pound rankings, I've got John Jones. I think John Jones, his historical legacy gets him that high. I know he hasn't been active as recent, but he was injured against Stipe Miocic, so I do give him a slight benefit of the doubt. But he dominated Cyril Gane like it was nothing, choked him out in 2 minutes. One of the best performances of that year. Just needs to be more active and he can rank higher. But at the minute, his historical record, what he's done throughout history, you know, never really lost a fight, 2-weight world champion, dominated Cyril Gane, gets him the 5th spot. You just need activity from him and just need some more defenses. That's really it to get him any higher at the minute. So yeah, number 5, I've got John Jones, and number 6, I've got Tom Aspinall. Top 4. Number 4 in the fight franchise pound for pound rankings, I've got Dricus du Plessis. Great win streak in the middleweight division, beating everyone in the middleweight division, beating tough competition and having great performances. He is undoubtedly one of the best fighters in the world right now, and I've said it multiple times, he's the best momentum-based fighter in the world. He can change a fight in the span of a few minutes. So yeah, deserves his high spot on the list. He's got everything. He's got the record. He's got the current win streak. He's got great performances and finishes against Robert Whittaker, Israel Adesanya. Got title defense now against Israel Adesanya. No, close win against Sean Strickland. You know, that Sean Strickland win, I gave it to Sean Strickland, which just hampers him a bit. And he has looked sloppy in certain fights where he does look a little bit beatable, but he gets the win anyway. But yeah, I've got Dricus du Plessis at number 4 in the pound for pound rankings. Well deserves a spot. Couple more title defenses, he can go into the top 3 or top 2. I just think the top 3 are kind of the undeniables for me, is the best pound for pound fighters in the world right now. Number 3, I've got Ilia Topuria. Brutal champion, brutal fighter. He's got the win streak. I believe he's 16-0, undefeated, undisputed featherweight champion. He's got big wins recently, you know, beating Volkanovski for the title, smashing Josh Emmett up, brutalizing Bryce Mitchell, brutalizing Bryce Mitchell for the submitting. Did he submit him or did he TKO him? I believe he submitted him, but he's got great wins, great performances, beating the competition in the featherweight division. Just activity he needs now. He won the title in February, could have been more active in the year. I know we were waiting for contenders, but he's going to fight very soon, and hopefully next year he's more active. He can climb this pound for pound rankings easily. Out of everyone on this list, he's probably the most well-rounded fighter on this list. He's got submissions, he's got striking, he's got grappling, he's got wrestling, he's got great jiu-jitsu. He's a brilliant fighter. He's got everything, and he needs to face the competition. He is the total package. It's just going forward. We just need that activity to be there, and he could definitely easily go be number 2 or number 1. But he is right now, in my opinion, and the Fight Franchise opinion, the 3rd best pound-for-pound fighter in the world right now. Number 2, controversial. He's being kicked from number 1. I'm going Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev was number 1 for so many reasons. He's got the record 15-fight win streak. I think he's on 14 or 15-fight win streak off the top of my head. Great performances. You know when he was 9-0, 10-0, just before the Bobby Green and Charles Oliveira fight, he was winning, but he was getting submissions against Drew Dober, Bobby Green, Dan Hooker, which were great performances. But it's just these recent wins which have just elevated him. Head kicking Alex Volkanovski, submitting Dustin Poirier and going to war with him, going to war with Alexander Volkanovski and showing different levels of his game. Undoubtedly, he's got wins against some of the best competition in his division. Great performances, great win streak, great record. He ticks every box. The only box he isn't ticking is activity. He isn't being as active as the guy ahead of him. That's the only reason I'm knocking him off the pound-for-pound number 1 rankings. It's because he's fought once in 2024. That's not good enough, to keep your spot at the top, especially when the guy ahead of you in 7 months has had 3 title defenses. That I might as well go into number 1. Number 1, in my opinion, and the Fight Franchise opinion, right now, as of the 6th of October 2024, the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world is Alex Pereira. This year, Islam Makhachev has had 1 title defense. Alex Pereira has had 3. Alex Pereira, in this 1 year, in 7 months, has matched Islam Makhachev for title defenses. Islam Makhachev has 3 title defenses against Alexander Volkanovski twice and Dustin Poirier. And that's across the span of nearly 18 months. In 7 months, Alex Pereira has matched that. I know Alex Pereira lost to Izzy recently, but that was in a division below. But he has become a 2-weight world champion recently. He has wins against the best competition in his division. His performances are definitive. He's KOing and beating his competition. The only one he hasn't done that to is Jan Blachowicz recently. His record speaks for itself. I think he's like 12-2 or 11-2. 2-weight world champion. Amazing win streak. Amazing performances. He is undoubtedly, in my opinion, the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And he's shown that because he's gone up a division as well. He beats and wins the middleweight title. Okay, he loses against Israel Adesanya. Goes, okay, I'm going to go up a division, school these lot, wins this title, then KOs this division, Let me just think off the top of my head. So since he's moved up to light heavyweight, he beat Jan Blachowicz in July of 2023. Then in November of 2023, beat Jiri Prochazka. Beat Jamal Hill in 2024. Beat Jiri again in 2024 and just beat Khalil Roundtree. So since July of 2023, he's had 5 fights, winning 4 out by KO and 1 by decision against Jan Blachowicz. In that same span of time, okay, they're good wins. Islam Makhachev has had 2 wins against Alexander Volkanovski, which was an epic KO, but Volkanovski took it on short notice. And Dustin Poirier, who he submitted, but he went to war with. Dustin Poirier, he should have took out much more easily. So when you compare that recent activity since July of 2023, 5 versus 2, 3 title defenses in that time, won his second bout in the second division. Undoubtedly, in my opinion, as of the 6th of October 2024, Alex Pereira is the pound-for-pound number 1 best fighter in the world. So this is how our pound-for-pound rankings look as of today. Number 15, Sean O'Malley. Number 14, Robert Whittaker. Number 13, Sean Strickland. Number 12, Alexander Volkanovski. Number 11, Leon Edwards. Number 10, Alexandra Pantoja. Number 9, Merab Dvalishvili. Number 8, Max Holloway. Number 7, Bilal Muhammad. Number 6, Tom Aspinall. Number 5, John Jones. Number 4, Dricus du Plessis. Number 3, Ilia Topuria. Number 2, Islam Makhachev. And number 1, the best pound-for-pound fighter as of the 6th of October 2024 is Alex Pereira. Let us know what you thought of this video in the comments below. Put your pound-for-pound rankings down in the comments below. Do your top 15. Tell me who you think is the best fighter in the world. Leave that in the comments below. Do you agree with our pound for pound rankings? And is this something you want to see going forward every 3 months, maybe every 6 months? Because the pound for pound rankings fluctuate. People lose, people win. It changes on a yearly basis. But I think having these videos to go and look back on kind of gives you a great historical perspective of the MMA world and how it evolves in the next 5 years if we keep doing these videos. So yeah, might be a cool new series going forward. But leave your pound for pound rankings in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you think Alex Pereira is the best pound for pound fighter in the world right now? Put that down in the comments below. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more MMA fight content coming soon. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.